This has been through a rain, and you can see most of it did shed off. It's pretty clean. The back did get the most markings, you know, from all the how it does. And then we're going to go ahead and give it its 6th wash. And this experiment started back in mid-February, and this is the 6th wash. And you can see that I did do a little detailing on the top here. Wash number 6. This started in February. We've had a good solid rain on it, and we'll just kind of look and see what this looks like. Well, definitely everything's holding up. So we'll wash it and take a look at how it looks after we're done washing. I'm especially impressed by the glass. Look at that, wow, incredible. Multiple rags in my hand. One is my wet one to hit first, and then a really soft one to finish up with. And if this gets too wet, then I go to this one before I go to my really soft one, so that I'm barely, you know, putting any pressure on the paint. And again, I mentioned it before, this truck with its wax job that I gave using the ceramic hybrid, which I described in earlier videos, the rag is just gliding over with no resistance. So there's an incredible amount of protection still left. So you're not looking at a mirror. This is the actual, I just dried this. So let's do the next panel. I'm using a microfiber towel, real soft, just gliding over it. You can see there's a little bit of smearing there. My super soft. And no, you are not looking into a mirror. mean, it just dries so, the towel just glides right over it. Not completely done, but it doesn't get much easier than that. So not rust out like in here. You need to really dry on the inside just as much as the outside. And that may be more important to get way up in there and to dry, because you're gonna pull mud and dirt and filth. And when you pull that mud and dirt and filth, that holds moisture. And you notice mine came out pretty clean. That's because I do this every time with all the wheel wells, and they won't rust out near as fast. The other thing you need to do is you need to dry underneath here, because the bottom of doors tend to rust out. And again, that water, if you just dry that car on the outside and you don't dry all of this, that water will sit in there for days. And if you don't believe me, take your vehicle, don't dry these things, don't drive it, and then open up, and you will find all kinds of moisture. So dry under these doors, dry under these seals. It takes just 10, 15 extra minutes to get everything dry. And I promise you, your vehicles will not rust out as fast. And then also you can take your wet rag and hit that door seal right there, which helps it look a lot better. And you're good to go. Bumper. Good rule of thumb is if you can reach it, dry it. Because how many trucks have you seen, Chevy trucks, with the back bumper rusted out? So again, if you can reach it, dry it. I use a lot of towels. One towel for just general drying. And if the towel hits the floor, you do not use it again. Second towel for just pulling off the heavy water. Third towel for pulling off heavy water. This fourth towel pulled off some heavy water, but also dried some areas that are a little harder to, to take off a little bit of the heavy. But once we get past the heavy, I go to, when it's almost down, I go to this really soft towel, and I finish off with it, because I do not want to apply pressure and put scratches. If this gets wet at all, it quits taking up, and you have to change to another one of these. Also, places that the whole truck, that I still feel from past experience that after 6 washes, the rags are still pulling across the truck very easily. The other thing I notice is that the places that I put the spray detailer on the front, the rags pull across even easier. The bugs you don't even have to work at; they just come off when you're washing and drying. It's just so simple. You want to dry every area underneath your hood, under your doors, in your door jambs, in your tailgate. Anywhere that water can sit, if it stays there, will rust. So we want to make sure that we are drying everything. Also, if a towel hits the floor, those towels are done. You cannot continue to use a towel that hits the ground. It will pick up rocks and other debris and scratch your vehicle. So again, this is a great time right now. The vehicle is perfect. It doesn't have any sap on it. It doesn't have any tar on it. If I wanted to recoat it with a ceramic at this time, it would be great, because that would just extend the life of the ceramic. But because we're doing this test, I'm not going to do that. This would also be a great time to just use my spray detailer, which would again increase the length of my of the slickness and the ceramic that I have underneath it. So it doesn't take that much more time to add that layer. I could even do that tomorrow if I wanted, if I had time. But lots of towels, soft towels, and make sure you get in every crevice. And do not push hard. The less pressure, the better. I mean, look at that. Do you see swirl marks? That's a 2014 black truck. I mean, if there was many swirl marks, you would be seeing them. But again, you can see the ceiling better than you can see anything in it, because that's how nice that paint is. So this is wash 6, and it is the end of June. It is June 30th. We started this experiment around the middle of February. And one other thing, wet towels are important, because I actually just drove this vehicle, pulled it up, the engine was still hot. And I noticed as I was drying, I had some small speckles because it was drying from the inside out, because there was no sun, which you never dry in the sun. You never wash in the sun if you can get by with it. And so what I did when I ran that wet rag that was pretty wet across it, it took those little dots off of it that were drying. It took them away, and then when I came by with my better towel, my second towel, and smoothed it out more, it was almost dry. And then I used a third towel to actually finish the panel. So I'm actually drying with 3 towels. One that's pretty wet, one that's kind of takes it down to almost where I want it, and the third to finish it off and make it perfect. All right, well, this is the end of this next part. Please subscribe. Please comment. Please tell me what you like, what you didn't like. Please like the video so more people get to see it. I'm never going to make money out of this. I just want to help as many people as I can. I feel like my 50 plus years of being around vehicles and working with them has taught me a thing or two, and I want to share that out to people who are having trouble keeping their vehicles nice and selling them at a great price and enjoying them. Most importantly, enjoying them until you get rid of them. If the vehicle looks good, you want to keep it longer. If the vehicle looks good, you enjoy it until the day you decide to sell it, because you're not embarrassed by it. So please hit like, comment about what you like, what you didn't like, and what you'd like to see. And third, subscribe. Hit that bell for me. All right. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you soon.